Hello everyone, I'm Natalia Bilbao and this is LA Currents. I remember when I was a little girl, I dreamt about becoming a firefighter because I thought those men and women were so brave and strong. Naturally, it takes a lot of hard work, courage, and commitment to become a firefighter, and their impact is really unquestionable across the community, which is why I'm so excited to be joined today by Los Angeles Fire Department Captain and Spokesperson, Cecco Secci. Thank you so much for being here, Cecco.
Oh, Natalia, thank you very much for having me.
I want to know, what are some of the things that people think firefighters do, but really, what are all the things that they really do?
So I think the number one thing, right, is they think that we go and put water on fire and put fires out, right?
Right.
But the fire department actually does many more things. Probably somewhere around 85% of our calls are medical emergencies. So we respond to everything from a heart attack, right, to strokes, traumatic injury on the job site, traffic collisions, right? So there are many, many things that we do. And we are continuously training, preparing for any of these emergencies. In Southern California, earthquakes.
I was going to ask you, earthquakes, recently flash floods.
Yes, so all of those things we don't improvise our response, right? Because we want to provide the greatest opportunity for the person that we're rescuing to survive or to reduce and mitigate any injuries or permanent damage that might occur to them or their property. But at the same time, we also want to keep safe our firefighters. So again, when the firefighter shows up, there was a lot of work and preparation behind the scenes before we show up to help the public.
And it's really interesting because it sounds like, obviously you can't really, like in the event of a, natural disaster, there's only so much that ground you can cover and things you can do. So I know that you also work with the community to give them the resources. What type of training do you provide for the general public?
We have a CERT program, which is the Community Emergency Response. And what they do is they go through a 7-week course and they really dive more deeply into what are things that someone can do in case of emergency. And many of these people, it's for their own education, but many will come back and become volunteers and help the fire department, right? In larger emergencies, like for example, you mentioned right now the recent rain event, we had some of these CERT members that helped out the fire department. What it does is a fire department responds, we mitigate the emergency quickly, and then CERT can stay and control that scene until more permanent help comes. It frees the fire department resources to go respond to another emergency.
Yeah, I'm curious to know, because we live in Southern California and we talked about earthquakes, how does the daily operation regarding that differ from, say, other cities or parts of the country?
Yes. I can't speak for other cities, but the Los Angeles Fire Department, one of the things that we do is we have studied very well the whole, nearly 470 square miles that the city of Los Angeles comprises. So we've studied, for example, the infrastructure, the more important infrastructure in the city. So let's say that there is an earthquake, right? Even when it's mild, we take the opportunity to train for that, right? So we go through the motions of what we would do if it was a really significant earthquake. So all of our 106 fire stations are put on in the earthquake mode by our dispatch center. And so what we do is we exit the station, we make sure that everything is okay at the station quickly, and then we communicate with each other to make sure that all of our fire resources are available, okay, that the stations are secure, right? And then we start what's called an earthquake survey drive. Each of the fire stations send the resources in their district, and we go and look at, for example, schools, if there is a water dam or water treatment plant, a hospital,
right.
All the most important infrastructure in that area. We do a survey, we get back together, and all this information is fed back through the chain of command to our battalion commanders and throughout the city, and all this information comes back, and we give a quick, again, an analysis of what's going on in the city. Is there any significant damage? And then we decide where we can send our resources to deal with this. Because again, if there were a catastrophic earthquake, we can't turn and find the first minor emergency, right, we have to do a large survey to best triage, right, to send the resources we have available immediately to the most important emergency. And then we could also, in that case, there's so many layers, right, but we could ask for resources from a neighboring city, or even from the state, or even from at a federal level, right? But again, it depends on the size of the emergency. And one of the things that fire departments throughout the United States have very well organized, and a lot of this was born in Southern California, and it's later grown throughout the nation, is that there are so many layers of assistance. Depending on the size of the emergency,
right.
As the emergency grows, we can bring in additional help from neighboring agencies, and we should be able to mitigate any emergency that comes our way.
Bueno, es ir pasito a pasito, ¿no?
Sí.
Bueno, hoy nos acompaña acá en LA Currents el capitán del Departamento de Bomberos de Los Ángeles, Cecco Secci. Gracias por estar acá con nosotros.
Natalia, muchas gracias por invitarme a tu programa.
Y capitán, si por ejemplo tú me hablabas de los voluntarios, que son súper importantes y pasan por un entrenamiento, ¿qué es lo que la gente tiene que hacer o qué hay disponible, qué programas, qué recursos para aquellas personas que quieren convertirse en bomberos o bomberas?
Claro. Entonces, la mejor manera es, por ejemplo, tenemos una página web que se llama joinlafd.org, ¿no? Es únete, ¿no?, al Departamento de Bomberos de Los Ángeles, y aquí se dan muchos pasos, pero ¿qué se debe hacer? Por ejemplo, para sus televidentes que sean jóvenes, estudiar mucho en la escuela, sacar buenas calificaciones y portarse bien, porque una de las cosas que hacemos es el Departamento de Bomberos, cuando una persona pone una solicitud para que quiere ser bombero, se hace una investigación de cómo nos hemos portado, ¿no? O sea, entonces si tenemos, si hemos sido arrestados, cosas así, cualquier antecedente negativo nos puede eliminar inmediatamente la posibilidad de volvernos en bomberos. Entonces esa es una de ellas, y la otra es mantenerse en buena condición física, que puede ser, claro, cosas aeróbicas como correr, nadar, etcétera, andar en bicicleta, pero también algo que pueda hacernos más fuertes, ¿no? Ahora, y eso se puede hacer, pero hay muchas técnicas, ¿no? Uno no tiene que ser un levantador de pesos, ¿no? O sea, por ejemplo, como los atletas de los diferentes deportes, hay muchos tipos, ¿no?, de, digamos, físicos, y entonces igualmente el Departamento de Bomberos acomoda a mucha gente, pero sí tenemos que portarnos bien, por decirlo en palabras pobres, mantenernos en buena condición física y ser una persona tranquila en la comunidad. No asumimos personas que se estén peleando constantemente con los vecinos, y estas son quizás las cosas más importantes. Ahora, cosas más específicas, hay clases que uno puede tomar a nivel no solo de bachiller, pero a nivel universitario, que pueden ayudar, aprender a hacer resucitación cardiopulmonar. Inclusive tenemos muchos candidatos que si siguen este desarrollo se vuelven paramédicos, y eso puede ser algo que los puede ayudar muchísimo a ser entre los candidatos más sobresalientes sobre los cuales vamos a reclutar a nuestros nuevos bomberos.
No, maravilloso, gracias. Y bueno, ya colocaremos las maneras en las que la gente puede estar informado, conectarse con el Departamento de Bomberos. So we'll share the different websites and how people can get in touch with the department and join and become a firefighter. Gracias, capitán, por pasarse por acá, por LA Currents, y compartir todo esto tan importante.
A ti muchas gracias por invitarnos y permitirnos promover este mensaje, ¿no?
Thank you so much, Captain, for stopping by.
My
Really
pleasure.
appreciate that.